I'd fire that guy in 4 seconds if I were running the show there. Go yourself. Only a moron would tell the president to F off before he gets his check.
He does have power.
Whack him. He
does have power.
So don't pay attention to the approval ratings that say that 68% of Americans disapprove of the job this man is doing.
Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. Do you, in the comments, let me know, do you watch late night television? And I'm going to even expand it out anymore. Do you watch traditional television, cable television, or do you use a lot of streaming services, YouTube, Roku, Hulu, Apple TV, those kind of things? Do you use those, or do you use just traditional cable or dish television? And then do you actually watch late night television? I think this is such an interesting conversation. Sadly, I think a lot of it is centered around what we're going to watch here today. Is going to be centered around politics. But really, this stuff isn't interesting anymore. And we have entirely too many options in order to scratch our entertainment itch. We're not hamstrung to just the 4 big major networks every night at 10:30. You could watch whatever you like. You can cater television and your entertainment directly to your likings and whatever fits your fancy. So I do think that as we're going to watch this Stephen Colbert discussion, which I do think is pretty comical, we do need to think about, like, we're not hamstrung to this type of television anymore. We can literally watch whatever we want. So let's go check it out. Let's go.
Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." Go yourself.
I think the real question is, should the president of the United States be picking and choosing people who should have jobs based on whether they say nice things about him or not?
No.
Okay, I want to stop right there. The way she framed that question, I think, is disingenuous, but a little bit true as well. Trump shouldn't even be in this discussion. He really, truly should not, in my opinion. He should stay as far away from this. There's too many things that you need to be working on, Mr. President. Too many. I know you've had a barn burner for the first 6 months. You got 3.5 years left. Get some other things done. You don't have to be involved in Stephen Colbert. Nobody cares about this guy, because I really don't think many of us actually watch that type of content. But what's about to be said, I think she's misconstruing that there are certain industries that really should pass away. There's lots of industries that just need to go away, and they're being propped up. And I think this is one of them. I don't think late night television is even remotely as popular as they're about to explain.
Got fired before Trump said a word. 46.2.
Actually, Trump
Abby,
called for his
with a
firing
very
last.
simple explanation.
Okay, let me respond to what you said. Trump called for his firing last fall, just to be clear.
Let's talk about what actually happened. $46.2 million in losses on a franchise that's 40 years old. It's old, it's dead, and unfortunately for all of the category, people are geometrically not watching late night TV anymore. Here's the problem for Colbert. His contract is a payout contract through a transaction where there's a change of control. Only a moron would tell the president to F off before he gets his check, okay? So what's going to happen now, in my opinion, is tomorrow, CBS, his boss, will fire him, and they will litigate for the next 5 years his payout.
Fire who? Stephen Colbert?
So now,
Get rid of this guy.
Oh, no.
So now you're saying they're really going to fire him for saying
I'd
mean
whack
things about
this
the
guy.
president?
I want to go back to something.
He will never get his check.
Now, at this point, he said the gloves are off. He's slamming his own bosses for their decision to cancel his show. Listen.
How could it purely be a financial decision if The Late Show is #1 in ratings? Over the weekend, somebody at CBS followed up their gracious press release with a gracious anonymous leak saying they pulled the plug on our show because of losses pegged between $40 million and $50 million a year. 40 million's a big number. I could see us losing $24 million, but where would Paramount have possibly spent the other $16 million? Oh, yeah.
That's not very funny. That's the problem with him. He's not funny. And by the way, if the CBS bosses don't want to whack him, I'll do it for them. I'd fire that guy in 4 seconds if I were running the show there. Gone. And then let him litigate for his cash if he's worth 20, 30, 40. Let him wait 12 years through litigation and hire his own lawyers. That guy is dumb.
Do you know it is interesting that, I mean, it is interesting that
Paramount that like Trump would fire him or want him fired because he's critical of Trump.
He just insulted his bosses. Like, what is this guy?
Well, I mean, he does have power.
Whack him. Whack him.
He does have power.
He
does have power in this equation because he knows that he is the public face of this network. Nobody
50% of the
Nobody
public.
knows who runs CBS. Okay, no one knows.
I do.
Everybody. Right. But everybody knows Stephen Colbert. And I do think that he's exercising a certain degree of power here by basically saying, I know that this audience is on my side. He's saying what he thinks.
He's playing the victim. And
That's what Trump does. Well, he is a victim of Trump's thin-skinned behavior. Like, he is a victim of that.
Well, wait a minute. Stephen Colbert came to prominence in 2006 when he went to the White House Correspondents' dinner and he trashed George Bush to his face.
I believe the government that governs best is the government that governs least. And by these standards, we have set up a fabulous government in Iraq. Most of all, I believe in this president. Now, I know there's some polls out there saying that this man has a 32% approval rating. But guys like us, we don't pay attention to the polls. We know that polls are just a collection of statistics that reflect what people are thinking in reality. And reality has a well-known liberal bias. So don't pay attention to the approval ratings that say that 68% of Americans disapprove of the job this man is doing. I ask you this, does that not also logically mean that 68% approve of the job he's not doing?
And broke protocol for what the comedians are supposed to do at that event. This is just him repeating the same trick over and over.
If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Great. Well, he's going to find out exactly how many people want to watch.
And I think that's the truth. And I truly believe in the free market. Allow them to get out there and duke it out. But if a platform isn't succeeding, it can be removed. I don't want to say the word whack. I don't like the way that guy said whack, but you don't have to allow a platform or comedian or service or industry to remain if they're not being profitable. That's just it. Let's go.
Watch it, but it'll be at a much lower salary.
Everyone should be concerned. People on the right should be concerned. People on the left should be concerned. Because it's very clear that if it is political, this is the dismantling of our democracy. This is the dismantling of our Constitution, right? And so the First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason, and that is freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom to speak truth to power. If that is taken away, if the comedians are being attacked, then that means our Constitution is being dismantled. Right. That means the very rubric of our democracy is being dismantled. And I think every single...
I'm sorry, Sonny Holston, be quiet. You can be as soft and meek and mild in your speech as possible, but that doesn't mean what you're saying. You're just being dishonest, disingenuous. It's not true.
Person should be really, really concerned about it. And if we find out it is political, what are we going to do as a country? We must protect our Constitution and we must protect our democracy. I think this is bigger than just the cancellation of a television show.
I think it's great.
Oh my gosh, this was terrible.
Afraid, and you protect your bottom line. I've got but one thing to say, just one little phrase. You tell them, go yourself.
Don Lemon at CNN, gone. Joyless Reed of MSDNC, gone. Stephen Colbert of CBS, gone. My grandmama doesn't even watch the show anymore. and she watches the mainstream media, and she's clocked out. She's now on the YouTubes. So I don't know who was watching
Shout
this
out to
guy in the
Grandma.
first place. I mean, it's kind of making sense how he could have been losing upwards to, they saying, $40 million a year
Wow.
in just production of this god awful show. But it looks like he chose wokeness over a career. And essentially, what that's gotten him is exactly what has gotten the rest of these wokety woke, now brokety broke folks. The Wicked Witch of the East, West, North, and South over there at The View. I promise y'all, your time is coming soon.
Johnny Carson said many times that his job was to entertain, not preach. Paraphrasing. No, I agree. I do believe I remember hearing that from Mr. Carson. Shout out to Mr. Carson for sure. Colbert, Kimmel, ETA. I think he meant to say all took late night entertainment and turned it into liberal sermons. Absolutely nobody asked for that. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, a lot of people, including me, don't like it, so we didn't watch it. And now he's been fired for it. That's the truth right there. That's some gospel right there, my friend. Shout out to that. Can dish it out, but can't take it. 10 years of bashing Trump every night, and Trump says one thing and he cries. You're not going to be able to beat those charges. You're not. You are guilty of that. Absolutely. Shout out to that person. The View is next. We can only hope. Come on. The View. But I think The View should be allowed. The View should be subsidized because it's such rich comedy. It's such comedy. How about Colbert just sucks? No lie, no argument. Losing $40 million a year is political. I don't know how losing $40 million a year is political. It sounds like a bad business strategy. But what do y'all think? Jump into the comments. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's political? Do you watch this type of stuff? Do you watch mainstream media, late night television? Or are you a streaming person that just kind of caters television to what your likings and your fancy are? Let me know down in the comments below. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you so very much for hitting that subscribe button and becoming one of the 50,000 subscribers. And I'm looking forward to celebrating with you all real soon. Until then, everybody, grace and peace.